Alright, example 2, lesson 6-7. 7-, whatever. Oh, anyways. Example 2. Shelby deposited $500 at a simple interest rate of 3.5% for 5 years. Matt deposited $1,000 at a simple interest rate of 4.65% for 7 months. Who will receive more interest? How much money will each of them have? Oh my gosh. So this question is very similar to the ones you're going to see on your test when it has to do with this. They're giving you two situations and asking you to compare who's going to get more interest, Matt or Shelby. So we've got to look at these separately. We definitely notice that because of all this interest mention, we're going to use that interest formula, I equals PRT. And we're going to have to do this twice. We're going to have to do this once for Shelby, who we're going to do in blue. And then again for Matthew, which we're going to do in red. Because organization is key. All right, so Shelby, I equals PRT. So Shelby deposited $500, so that is the principal. That's that starting amount. Her rate is 3.5%. Don't forget to divide that by 100. So 3.5 divided by 100. And Shelby's time is 5 years. Boom. And it makes sense that the I is what we're looking for because they're asking me what will the interest be. So now that I've got Shelby set up, I'm going to pause before I calculate and I'm going to get Matthew set up. So Matthew, again, still using that I equals PRT formula and still going to be finding the interest. So Matt has a principal of 1,000. That's what he started with. Matt's rate is 4.65 divided by 100. Ooh, and Matthew is only investing his for 7 months. Remember, you must convert. That 7 months has to turn into 7 divided by 12. Okay, so I've got these set up. Now we can do some calculating here. We'll do Matthew first. So starting with that 4.65 divided by 100 is going to give me 1,000 times 0.0465. And you can always double check that by going back to and making sure that works. And now 7/12. This is going to be the fun thing here. 7/12 is not going to be a nice normal number if I can just get it to type in. So what's important here is that you do not round that number. Keep that as 7/12 until you get to the very, very, very last step. So instead, I'm going to go back and use that 0.046 number, which again, I did not type in correctly. 465, and I'm going to multiply that by the 1,000 because that will be nice. And that turns into 46.5. Now that I'm down to the last step, I can do this all in the calculator and get a decimal finally. So 46.5 times, remember fractions should be put in parentheses there, 7 divided by 12. And that gives me an answer of 27.125. Yes. Again, we're talking money. Money always rounds to hundredths. So the interest that Matt receives is $27.13. That's, again, his interest amount. All right, let's calculate Shelby now. So Shelby has 500 times 5, which is going to be 2,500. So 2,500 times 3.5 divided by 100 is 0.035. That times my 2,500 gives me 87.5. And again, when we're talking money here, we want to round to the nearest hundredth. So you don't see people say $87.5. No, they say $87.50. Again, that is the amount that shall be made in interest. So my first question they were asking me is who will receive more interest? Well, Shelby clearly, because she receives $87.50, where Matt only receives $27. So first question is Shelby receives more interest. Shelby gets more interest than Matt. Okay. However, there was a second question here. How much money will each of them have? That is asking for a total there at the end. How much money will each of them have? So Shelby doesn't just have $87.50. Shelby has that plus her $500 that she initially put in. So Shelby has a total of $587.50. And same thing with Matt. Matt doesn't just get that $27.13. He also gets that $1,000 that he initially put into that account. So Matt's total ends up being $1,027.13. So even though Matt had more money to start with, Shelby earned more interest because she left it in there for longer.